Hello and welcome to another episode of the Smash Accept podcast. I'm your host, Michael Royer. You can find me on Twitter at Dynasty Dad FF. Joined as always by my main man at FF Snoog. And tonight we got a fun show. It's Wednesday. That means we're going to be talking about, another mock draft. We're going to put it together here where Field Yates did his mock draft, some real juicy landing spots. Tonight, for you single quarterback fans, and I know there's still some of you out there that do that, we're going to do a 14-team single quarterback mock. So it's almost like Superflex because we're going 14. Snoog, when you start playing single quarterback, 10 teams, there's really no point. The quarterback is really downplayed. 12, okay, it's a little bit better. 14, you get closer to that Superflex level. But this particular mock, man, the quarterback class is not huge difference between Superflex and single quarterback. So if a lot of you guys are like, oh, I only play Superflex, you're still going to get a lot of insight from this because Snoog and I are going to break down all the different positions in this Field Yates mock.
Yeah, that's what makes me sad about this year is we love running backs at Smash Accept. We play in 0.25 points per carry for a reason. So we're always trying to get this running. Like in a normal draft, you'd be getting Henderson, Judkins, Hampton, all those guys at like the 104 to 109, 110 if there was quarterbacks like last year or the year before, you know what I mean? But in this class, sadly, there's Cam Ward, and that's most likely going to be it that are going to boost these guys a little bit down maybe. But I don't know. You never know. Maybe Jackson Dart goes top 10. Sure, Sanders goes top 10, and things get fun in some of your leagues. But for the most part, the guys we want are going to be going really high, so we're not going to get as much of a discount as we want on them. But I think Cam Ward's he's a good quarterback prospect, and he deserves to be in that top 6, especially if he goes number 1 overall, number 2 overall, wherever he's going to go.
Yeah, you're still got that Superflex, state of mind going that early. Yeah. I think in a one quarterback, and this is
one quarterback, he's like 2-0 something. Yeah.
In this particular mock draft from Field Yates, he has 5 quarterbacks go in the first 2 rounds, with William Howard going to the Saints at 61, and then you see Tyler Show going to the Browns at 33, which is just wild. But a couple of the quick key landing spots here before we break into this mock draft and just start drafting. Again, we do this with all the guys in the Discord. The fastest growing Discord in Dynasty is the Smash Accept Patreon, patreon.com/Smash Accept. Once you have put in payment, we will send in that you guys get your Discord link. Tonight's show, we're going to do some super chats. And Snoog, this one here, I'm going to break it up a little bit different. So if we get 10 super chats tonight, what I will do is we're going to give away one free month of the Patreon. But then your choice of either Snoog or myself, we're going to do a one-on-one breakdown of your rookie strategy of how you're going to win your draft. And we will give you our cell phone number for the day of your draft to help you the whole way through. So if that sounds like something cool to you, jump in, ask your questions, throw that out there. If not, enjoy the show. So what we're going to talk about right now, the way this
what jersey you got on before we jump into it?
Oh, dude.
You get me excited.
Andrew, I got Andrew Luck on tonight.
I knew it was Luck. I could tell. I was like, is that an Andrew Luck jersey?
Oh, yeah, that's old school.
Dad's locked in. He's ready to go. He's ready.
We need the luck. With this particular mock draft, we need it. Cam Ward goes 1 to the Titans. Shedeur Sanders, 3 to the Giants. Travis Hunter, which Snoog's going to love, 4 to the Patriots. Junty, 6 to the Raiders. Seems pretty chalk right now. Tet McMillan, 12 to the Cowboys is interesting. Tyler Warren, 14 to the Colts. Golden, 18 to the Seahawks. Hampton, 20 to the Broncos, so he dips a little bit in this one. Dart moves all the way up to 21 to the Steelers. Loveland goes to that juicy spot with the Chargers. Burden, 31 to the Raiders. Snoog, Scarface, go ahead and hit that start button. That's a lot of cool landing spots there, but what's the one that jumps out to you the most as we start this particular mock draft?
The ones that I love the most value on is Judkins and Henderson going in that second round range where I expect them to go. But like that early second that we keep talking about, Dad, where we're like, they're going to go top 45, top 50. They're not making it past Cowboys. They're not going to make it past the Bears, not making it past the Raiders. In this case, Genty goes to the Raiders, but Judkins and Henderson getting to be workhorse running backs in those backfields with 1, Ben Johnson, and 2, Henderson going to a team that has been historically known for being a bell cow running back team that just thrives through their running back. So 2 beautiful landing spots there that are going to help the top end of this draft strength-wise.
Yeah, I mean, that's a no-brainer that if those guys go to those situations, they're going to be climbing up boards. The first pick, Ashton Genty to the Raiders. I think this is becoming a lot more of a reality. I'm seeing some people people have take fatigue. They got rookie fatigue. They're trying to find warts with Hampton, with Henderson, with McMillan, with Genty now. And it's like, guys, this is the point where you trust your gut. You check out the Smash Accept rookie guide. This is an S tier player, Smash tier. Ashton Genty is a generational talent. We don't use that terminology lightly, but it's something that's an obvious thing for him. He is that good. He's going to be, if you're trading him, treat him like Jahmyr Gibbs. Treat him like Bijan Robinson, because that's what kind of value you're going to get from him here. I'm interested to see what Codester does here at 2. Sean Owens there with Genty as a smash pick. The second pick, Travis Hunter at 2. All right. Travis Hunter at 2 is becoming a reality if he goes to the Patriots. Snoog, you love it. We got a couple of minutes before my next pick. You've been gushing about this. I mean, if he goes to the Giants, I don't love it. But if he goes to the Patriots, he's worthy in this 102 conversation.
Yeah. I want to give us both credit because we've both been pounding the drum on, I think, Rookie Guy 1.0 as well. Like when we've been really diving into it, like we both say, if Travis Hunter plays full-time wide receiver, he's the best wide receiver in this class. It's hands down. Like he's a top 10 dynasty wide receiver type upside type of player. So he could get into that, Garrett Wilson, like Brian Thomas Jr., Puka Nacua range, like with a good rookie year or a good second year. So he's that type of prospect for me. The dude didn't practice at wide receiver all year and still went out there and put up like 1,300 yards, 90 receptions, 15 touchdowns, and was literally the entire offense on Colorado. And his yards per out run numbers are 2.51, which is good, not elite. The reason why they're not elite, because if you watched Colorado play, 50% of the time the dude was on the football field, they were just throwing bubble screens to the opposite side. That counts towards his yards per out run numbers, in case anybody didn't know that. So being in a bad offense with a bad scheme and a bad system hurts the player analytically. And that's like one thing I always try to do with film and analytics is always you got to balance it. You got to be able to understand why. All right, he has a bad yards per out run number, bad target share. Why? Go and find it out. You'll figure it out in the film. It's a big reason why Travis Hunter, but playing with Drake May as their wide receiver 1 and getting to learn with Stephon Diggs. And that's the bread and butter landing spot that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, and I had the third pick here, and I love if this happens, if Hunter does go 2, man, and these running backs fall into this area, 3, 4, 5 is beautiful. I mean, Travion Henderson to the Cowboys, and Quinshon Judkins to the Bears, and Omarion Hampton to the Broncos. I'm going to stick on brand because Omarion Hampton has been my RB2. The Broncos is an ideal landing spot. I think you're going to get a lot of dump offs from Bo Nix. You're going to get I think Sean Payton knows how to utilize his running backs. He knows how to use them in space. I think this is a perfect, and we're talking about a zone run scheme. You and I talked about that before. He would really thrive in that zone run scheme, and I almost like this a little bit more than where he goes with the Bears. The next pick, we have who do we have on the board here? My man Jay Ricky. He joined us last week. He's joining again this week. He takes Travion Henderson. Henderson's the clear-cut 4 here. I think if he goes to the Cowboys, and the interesting part is the guy next to him. I've been saying for weeks that Dak Prescott is the best value in Superflex right now.
Where does he go if this happens?
Travion Henderson and Tedoroy McMillan. I think this skyrockets his value.
I think that's I think this is a very good chance this happens for the Cowboys. I really think this is possible. Like I don't think this is like some fantasy land type stuff. I think this is very doable for them to get one of these stud running backs round 2. They're in a great position to do so. Again, you get an electric receiving back that's elite in pass pro, which is good for Dak Prescott. Good check down option for Dak Prescott. He hasn't had that in a while since Pollard before he broke his leg. Right. Then he gets Ted McMillan, a guy that for you and I both checks out to be a 1A, 1B with Travis Hunter, another really high-end wide receiver prospect. People want to talk about this wide receiver class not having top end studs. It's bad, all this. Travis Hunter and Ted McMillan are guys that could and should go top 10 to 12 in the NFL draft and that are very good wide receivers. Dak Prescott's going to have 5K upside if he's healthy with that type of offense in CeeDee Lamb.
And this makes more sense for their offense if they play it like Dynasty, get a wide receiver. Now, I don't like this as much for Ted McMillan going to the Cowboys as much as I would like him going to the Panthers or the Patriots or
Yeah,
somewhere where
yeah.
he's their number one. So I think it drives his value down. I got my Colts jersey on here.
He's
And
T. Higgins if he goes to the Cowboys, right?
we got
He's
we
going to
got
be a T. Higgins.
Jaden. Yeah, we got Jaden taking Tyler Warren at 14 to the
Love that
Colts.
pick.
I love the pick. Here's the deal. Okay. Anthony Richardson is not going to help him. But I don't think Anthony Richardson makes it through the year. Like, to be honest, I think it's a 50-50 chance if Anthony Richardson makes it through the year as the starter. I've heard rumors of them trying to get Kirk Cousins. I think that would really be something for Tyler Warren's projection on his career. But this is someone that's going to have a long-term career, someone that's fantastic. Lard Boy, he's in on his first, mock draft here with the Smash Accept crew. Love that. Welcome to the show. He has what I think is one of the best values in this draft.
Yeah, I was going to say I would have taken him over Warren, I think.
I would have too.
Landing spots. Yeah.
Quinshon Judkins now in this role is David Montgomery plus, and DeAndre Swift falls to a much, 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 much lesser version of DeAndre Swift, right? So this is like if David Montgomery had a 70% share of the Lions, which if Gibbs ever missed time, we know would put him as an RB1. Judkins would thrive in this role. I think this is a great landing spot. Super flex or one quarterback. I think he's in that 106 to 108 conversation. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love that Judkins pick. Burden, too. That's a good Burden pick. That's who I was considering at my 9 spot.
Luther Burden in this particular draft does get round 1 draft capital. He goes to 31 to the Raiders. Raiders don't have a wide receiver 1. Let's be honest. Brock Bowers is a do-it-all. He's going to be fantastic. Jacoby Myers, I don't think is a wide receiver 1 in this league. He's fine as a wide receiver 2. So they get Burden here, a little bit more gadgety. I think Geno Smith can support that. I don't think I'm going to mess too much with Luther Burden in this format, though. I'm not going to own Luther Burden in a lot of spots unless he goes somewhere where I really love it. The Raiders just doesn't quite do it for me. You like it here in this spot, though?
Yeah, I do. With one quarterback league and kind of there's a guy that I'm going to take right now that I would have taken over Burden, especially in a tight end premium format. I'll just make that pick now. Colson Love went to the Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
Previous head coach Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert. He'd be the clear number 2 target behind Ladd McConkey as a rookie, as a 20-year-old rookie coming in as a first-round pick. The hit rates are good on first-round tight ends. That's what you're looking for. Tight end premium, a guy that's a natural route runner. Justin Herbert would give this guy 120-plus targets in year 1, and he would be like the Sam Laporta of the 2023 class, in my opinion. So I absolutely love this spot for him in this range. I have a couple 111s and 110s. I hope I can land him in a 0.5, 0.75 tight end premium in that range. I don't think I'm going to be able to, because I think right now people are in their heads, he's not going to go in the first round, or he's not really going to go as high as we think he is. And then once he does, everyone's going to think about it for a day or two and be like, I want the guy that just went top 22 and goes and plays with his previous head coach. Jim Harbaugh knows how to get him involved, so he's gonna.
It's 110. We got Ryan Kay going with Jalen Noel at 57 to the Panthers. Panthers are needing a wide receiver. That's a little bit spicy. As much as I know you've been down on him for sure, but Matthew Golden going to the Seahawks, 33 picks earlier seems like that's something
good value for him now. Yeah, it's all about value, right? And we talk about that a lot on this show. We might be down on someone where they're going. I'm down on Matthew Golden's NFL value, not his fantasy football value, because he's been going in that early second range in every mock we've done in Superflex, 201 to 203. All day long, I will take a first-round wide receiver in that range. I don't care who he is. I will take him in that range. But I'm not, just because he goes top 20, top 18, top 15, I'm not just going to take him over all these elite running backs or over Warren or over McMillan or over Igbuka just because he went that high. Because the NFL has done Jameson Williams, Henry Ruggs, a lot of these field stretchers that aren't really great for fantasy football, more so kind of better for their offense. I think he slips into that role a little bit more as that less of a volume guy, more of going to be a Jordan Addison, kind of 110 targets, score a bunch of touchdowns on low volume type of player. But again, this value for him at the back end of the first in one quarterback is really good value.
Yeah. And here we're in a 14-team league, so make sure we slide the board down if you can a little bit here, Snoog, so everybody can see that. But this is where I would have taken Cam Ward over Noel. I wouldn't take him over Golden here, but I think you got to at least kick the tires. If you're playing 14 team, it's a totally different format because when you play 14 team versus 12, there are easily 12 quarterbacks you can rattle off, right?
Yep.
That you're like, I'll start this guy, but hey, my man Al Kalo, I'll start him all day long. He said, "What's up, my guys? Rookie Guide Volume 2.0 is looking clean. You guys got to check it out." Message either myself or Snoog. He's at FF Snoog. I'm at Dynasty Dad FF on Twitter or in the YouTube. If you guys are looking for that, we are selling them right now for $40. If you guys sign up for the yearly Patreon, we will do a 50% off. So if you guys sign up for that, we will sell you this for $20. It is up to 78 different prospects, talking about how you can win your rookie drafts, looking at every single prospect profile so you guys can absolutely smash. And 4 and 5 extra money, like Snoog and I've been saying all offseason. Like that's what we do here. Snoog, I'm surprised this guy fell this far. Like, I don't like the landing spot, but Emeka Ibuka at 39 to the Bears
Unbelievable.
means that they're not done, right? They're going to let Keenan Allen walk. Ibuka's going to be picked at 39. I don't love the landing spot, but just like they did last year with Rome, where I'm not going to discount him crazy amounts. I just don't. I want him to go somewhere else. Please let him go to the Texans. Please, let him go.
Patriots,
let him go somewhere.
Yeah.
This
I
is
think
not
he goes
it for
somewhere
me.
in the top. I think he goes in the top 25. I just don't see a world where he's going to go in the second round, especially because he had a really good pro day. It's just not checking in a weak class like this. It reminds me a lot of the 2022 class when so many people were projecting only 2 wide routes going around one, none of them going high. And I was thinking Garrett Wilson, Drake, these guys are elite wide. They're going high in this draft. Chris Olave, they all went top 12. There was 4 of them that did. I think this class is going to be shocking to people. This class sucks.
Guys.
It has defensive line and that's it.
We got 10 guys that are going in the first round of this mock draft.
Yeah.
That's huge for Superflex because then you throw in Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. They go into the second round. Caleb Johnson does not go in the top 2 rounds, but I think landing spot's going to be huge. McDaniels gets him here at the 113. And I think you're not seeing a lot of running backs go in round 2 in this particular mock draft, but you see the big 5, they're all getting their spots. Or big 4, I should say. 3rd round, 4th round are going to be littered with guys that are going to have a ton of upside. Your DJ Giddens, your Dylan Sampson, your Cam Scatterbo, Devin Neal. These guys. And Caleb Johnson seems like a lot of mock drafts have him falling into that area. My pick that I like right here from Coy. Coy goes and he goes Cam Ward. If Cam Ward goes 1 to the Titans, we have to just trust the process that they're going to put weapons around him. He has top 12 to 14 super flex upside. And if you're playing in a 14-team league, this is good value. I have no problem taking him here. Now we're moving up to 201. 201 going from my man Sean Owens. He's a staple in these mock drafts. I'm drafting with him in Smash Accept 18. Great guy. Jaden Higgins to the Saints. So
it's a good pick.
Last mock, we hated Jaden Higgins going to the Ravens. I like him going to the Saints, as the opposite of Olave, and then you got Shaheed stretching the field. This is a good pick.
Yeah, I like this pick for him because I think for where we're at and kind of where everyone's going in this draft, you're kind of getting a guy that has upside to be the clear number 2 option, even there with Derek Carr and not a bread and butter landing spot, but a guy that can come in and be a number 2. You're kind of I'm taking a lot of the running backs over Jaden Higgins here, even though he got the round 2 draft capital. I just still prefer a lot of the running backs in this class over some of these wideouts that are going to go. But Jaden Higgins, I know the reception perception profile came out bad on him.
It was ugly.
It was really bad.
A lot of red.
What I saw on film and what I saw watching him in college, I saw the opposite of his reception perception. So that's what I'm a little confused about. I'm getting to the point where I'm a lot of the data I'm seeing doesn't line up with what I'm seeing. Like it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? So I'm like, where are people getting these numbers? What's going on here? I trust Matt Harmon's reception perception a lot because he does really good work and he's been doing really good work for a while. But like all the stuff going on with like Judkins today about like his analytic profile and like his yards before like the way they measure all those stats is honestly such a hoax. Like for like yards after contact per attempt, like if you get touched once and then run for a 99-yard touchdown, you get 99 yards after contact. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
biggest joke of a stat. So it's like I could care less about stuff like that, but
I'm going to go ahead here, and I think I'm torn in this area before I know what actually is going to happen with Devin Neal. It's going to happen with some of the other guys. I think in this format, Shedeur Sanders in a 14 team going to the Giants is a quarterback 2. And they're important when you're talking about a 14 teamer because you're looking at guys that you don't want to start Derek Carr. You don't want to start, whoever the Browns are going to be starting. Shedeur Sanders with Malik Neighbors has some upside to at least be a top 20 dynasty quarterback. And I think you get him into that spot. The pick right after that, going Jackson Dart to the Steelers. I think Jackson Dart screams Steelers. I think with those weapons could have a better, especially in 6-point passing touchdowns, could be better than Shedeur Sanders. I think, and rushing upside as well. Like he's going to be a solid player for sure. Devin Neal going with the next pick. We're not sure where he's going in this particular draft. Snoog, Devin Neal running at the 4.6. He's got to go at least round 3 or round 4, but he's worthy of this area, And I think if he falls to round 5, round 6, then I'm out. Like that's where we were big in. We were talking round 2, round 3. If it goes to round 3, round 4, I'm fine. When it goes to round 5, round 6, I tend to be out on guys unless the opportunity is ripe. You're on mute.
A lot of these running backs are probably going in round 3 to 4 range right now, and we just don't know it. We can project that, but
they're going to fall.
I'm going to take a lot of these round 3 to 4 running backs over everybody on the board right now. Like don't really.
What do you think?
I like Kyle Williams. I like that pick.
I hate this landing spot here for Elik Ayumanor to the Chargers. Was just another lesser Lad McConkey.
He's literally just like a Josh Palmer.
Yeah, like that's. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Slot type of player.
I wanted to.
I don't like it because they got Loveland. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah, Trey Harris is the next pick here. It's a great pick by Lard Boy. Are we saying Trey Harris is going to fall to the 3rd round? Like in this particular mock, I think there's zero chance.
Unless he's doing stuff off the field we don't know about, I think there's zero chance.
He's got to be round 2.
That's what people have to understand is a lot of these guys doing these mocks, Field Yates, Mel Kiper, Todd McShay, they don't know anything. Like they're just projecting, they're predicting. Like if you look back at all their mocks, they know way more than we do because they hear what scouts are talking about, they hear insider stuff, but they're just projecting. Mm-hmm. They're putting mocks together based on what they think, what they like. So that's how all the mocks are. So you kind of have to take it for a grain of salt when you see a guy like Booker not going round 1 and Burden not going round 1 or Sanders going 30 something. Like they're kind of just projecting what they think will happen based on what they like and who they like. Usually that's how these mocks go, but I usually like to trust like McShay and Kiper because they usually have good connections. But
what about this question here from Jackson Connell? Where would Travis Hunter go if he goes to the Giants in this particular draft? I'm not taking him. I'm taking Hampton over him. I'm taking Henderson over him. 7. No, 8. You take him over Judkins? If Judkins goes to the Bears, right? We're getting really – because, I would take him over Burden. I would take him over – no, that's it. It's 107. That's crazy to say that we could have that kind of swing. But if the Giants take him, I don't trust their defense is bad enough that they would use him, and their offense wouldn't use him as much because Malik's going to be the number 1. The biggest thing that Snoog and I are all about with the Patriots is Patriots have corners and they have no wide receivers. Drake May needs a number 1. I think that's the clear-cut number 1 landing spot unless you would potentially see somebody else move up. Elijah Arroyo going here to Dion's Raw. Shout out to Dion's Raw. He's in Smash Accept 18 as well. It's been fun drafting with him. A lot of you guys are asking about Smash 19, Smash 20. Smash 19 is already booked up. It is Smash International. Snoog, we are listened to in 64 different countries. That kind of blew my mind the other day. I started to look through, and we are in the top 30 charts in Canada, in
Makes me
Germany, a
real
couple
happy.
of, it's a cool thing when a lot of you guys in Australia as well, you guys message us and you're like, hey, checking in from Australia, checking in from, all these different countries. And I'm like, this is cool. You know what I mean? Like we started Smash Accept just a small little thing. And now all of a sudden, we're starting to blow up in other countries. And I really love that. Isaiah Bond going 2-9 to Snoog. Snoog.
I got
Isaiah
auto
Bond.
drafted. I got auto drafted. And
I was
that
gonna
is not
say,
my pick. Codester, remove that pick. Remove that pick, Codester.
No,
listening.
let's leave it in there. It was his negligence.
That. You gotta remove
his negligence. Isaiah Bond. That's a skid mark on this draft. This is like, man, this is no good.
That for me. You gotta pull that for me.
But
give me DJ Giddens. Pull it and give me DJ Giddens.
And while we're doing that, Ryan took RJ Harvey here. I saw a couple people saying that he's the Bucky Irving of the 2025 draft. I think RJ Harvey's gonna impress a lot of people. The landing spot's key. So many people misconstrued this whole situation from Bucky Irving last year, right? Fantastic running back. But what happened? Perfect storm. He went to the right spot. If Bucky Irving went behind, Buck Brees Hall, if he went behind some of these other guys, he would be not getting the same play. He's a fantastic player. I think RJ Harvey in the right landing spot could be a really nice pick. What do we have here on the board? Some of the other guys that have not been drafted. Mason Taylor goes to the Jets. I kind of like this. Mason Taylor's kind of moving up my boards lately. I think he's a big target. Gives the Jets, I love Justin Fields. That's going to give him another target. We have Reckless goes with Brashard Smith, and then Michael Andrewsy goes with Ollie Gordon. So these three running backs here: Harvey, Smith, Gordon. Obviously, you're gonna move your guy in there with DJ Giddens. This is running back row. We're starting to get a lot of guys. Ollie Gordon, I have not seen been going inside the top 2 to 3 rounds in most mock drafts, Snoog. I mean, are you starting to worry a little bit on what you're seeing from Ollie Gordon? Brashard Smith is going to go round 4 or 5. I don't think there's any reason he goes in round 3, but his skill set is going to be complementary to a lot of different people. Let's slide the board down to 213 and 14, and then tell me about what you're thinking about Ollie Gordon right now.
Yeah, I think Ollie's going to be a good little round 3 or 4 pick, just like Damian Martinez, who's probably going to go very shortly here. They're kind of similar to me, bigger bruiser backs that are just really good, consistent feet, patience between the tackles. Damian Martinez, if he goes day 2, I'm going to be so incredibly high on him because I loved his film. I've loved him since he was a true freshman. Analytics are great. Production's great. There's not a red flag in his profile. The only thing you could really argue is like he can't really be deployed as a dynamic receiving back, but he's like that Ramondre Stevenson type of player to me where he's like just so patient and so elusive for his size that I think he could have a really good year within 2 to 3 years of his NFL career. So I'm really high on him. And Ollie here, you're betting on upside at the 212 spot, a guy that won the Dog Walker Award and was the best running back in the country just 2 years ago. So love betting on that upside here. This is the money range. Like this is where you're just smashing running backs left and right and just trying to get the best value there.
Yeah, no, I'm with you completely. This is that area where you have to. Who do we got the next one? Dylan Sampson. I love this pick too because he was. A lot of people had him almost late round 1. Now it's like he keeps falling, and he's a fantastic value. What do we have here? I can't see that one. I'm blind. That's our Mason Taylor pick. I like
42 to the Jets. Mason Taylor, 42 to the Jets. That I think we got to start coming to fruition that Mason Taylor is likely going to probably be the 3rd tight end drafted in the NFL draft. And there's a damn good chance he's the 3rd best tight end in this class. Like we're getting to that point.
You tight ends, you can't always go by where they go in the draft just because you have opportunities of guys blocking and whatever the schemes are. Damian Martinez at 3-1, like that pick. Jalen Milroe at 302. I'm going to try to find my guy here. All right, I'm going to see if they even let me take him. All right, I'm taking Kyle Williams here. I think he falls into a beautiful landing spot, Snoog. We have not talked about him enough, but 58 to the Texans. I'm taking a shot here. A lot of people, you look at highest receiving yards, market shares by a true freshman, 5th all time behind guys like T.Y. Hilton, Corey Davis, Stephon Diggs, Julio Jones. Someone that ran a 4.4. Some people are really, I know Zoltan loves him. People are starting to push him up boards. What are your thoughts?
Too. I mean, I like him a lot too.
He's one of the
interesting guys in that range. He's one of the interesting guys in this range that I think goes round 2 or 3 in the NFL draft. Very good separator, explosive playmaker, just like kind of screams that play style that you want to see for fantasy football, like kind of like that Tank Deli vibe, like just route runner, separator. Like I would love this situation for him too.
Taj Brooks here goes to Jay Rickey. Jay Rickey, that's a great draft. Travion Henderson, Jackson Dart, and Taj Brooks. I know, last week you were like, hey, can I get in one of these? Now you're in 2. Now you're hooked. If you guys want to be a part of these drafts, if you guys want to do, some of these guys joined the Patreon today and they're like, we saw you guys on YouTube and we would love to be a part of this community. We would love to draft with you guys live so we can kind of see what's going on. Patreon.com/SmashAccept. Anywhere from $5 to $20 a month. When you talk about $5 a month, Snoog, that is like less than 20 cents a day, that you're in there to talk fantasy football. And that so many guys they're like, this has changed the way I look at fantasy. I'm making relationships. I'm finding out who other people. One thing is Snoog and I share what drafts look like and what trades look like in our leagues. When you have 700 people in there that are talking about their leagues, you start to get even more ideas. And that's really what our show is about, is to give you guys strategies and ideas to make up your own trades. Marcus Yarns here goes to Jaden. I like Marcus Yarns. He's starting to really, from Delaware. Jalen Royals, Lard Boy, another good draft. Trey Harris, Jalen Royals, Quinshon Judkins, welcome to your first draft. Tyler Show, talk to me. He goes 33 here. I think this is wild. I think he is 41 years old as a rookie. So
I was gonna say, is it Tyler Show, or did you just throw shoulder pads on?
Right, that's how I'm looking. I'm ready to go in.
I'm picky with the quarterbacks as is, and when I see 26, 27-year-old quarterback, I just think it's a joke. Like I will not take you seriously, and I have zero interest in anything to do with you in fantasy football.
I'm shocked that Fields Yates goes. I like Jack Beck. I really do. Converted tight end into wide receiver.
I like this pick a lot to the Packers. A guy that can actually catch the football.
Well, I mean, what are they going to do? They're collecting a
bunch of wide receiver threes.
Yeah, so stop it. You know what I mean? That's not how you win in Dynasty, and that's not how you win as the Packers. They need to get a alpha wide receiver, and they have none. Like, this is going to give them Wicks, Watson.
They should be taking
Dobbs,
Ibuka
Reed.
in round 1.
They need to take a round 1 wide receiver. Like they didn't get one in free agency. Give Jordan Love an alpha. And then even the tight ends. I mean, I love Kraft, but then you're like, Beck is very similar to what they have in Luke Musgrave, like similar build, similar play style. I don't know. Terrence Ferguson, my man, Turd Ferguson, going there, 310. Xavier Restrepo. Snoog, I ran a faster 40 time than him, but the tape looks a little bit different, right? Like when I watch him play, he doesn't look like a 4.84 guy. He looks considerably faster than that. Harold Fannin to 312. Like the world has just soured on Harold Fannin. I'm not sure why right now.
We always talk about this, like these guys that have hype, that have the dynasties, that have the dynasty name falling. There's 2 guys right there that went back to back right there. Restrepo and Harold Fannin. Those guys were, and Tez Johnson. That's 3 guys that got the combine sickness, that combine downfall, that like you have the bad combine and people just write you off. Those guys are all going in the second round of rookie drafts back in whenever we started doing these, and now they're all barely making the third. That's incredible. That's cool to see. But
you see Jaden Rodenball's. I think Shao graduated in Dad's
tell you
class.
one thing, he ain't my age.
Yo, Millersville class of 2004. Here we go. Yeah, that's messed up. Jaden, you're officially out of the Patreon. We can't have that kind of stuff.
Dad is my uncle, by the way, everybody.
This is not true. Stop. This has been a fun draft. I think the cool thing to look at this when you're looking at the one quarterback leagues is just to see you're going to get good values on one quarterbacks. I think that's going to fall. The running backs in this one, though, Snoog, this is almost perfect, right? The only thing that could be better is seeing Caleb Johnson go round 2 to somewhere or round 3 early. But Henderson, Hampton, Genty, and Judkins all go in top 45, all to spots where they're day one starters. That makes this class sexy. Travis Hunter going to the Patriots. Tet McMillan going to the Cowboys. Now you're looking at 7 or 8 guys. Then Colson Loveland to the Chargers. Like, this is going to be a good class. There's going to end up being some picks where you have like this one where Amika Buka goes to the Bears. I don't like that for his stock at all. I think that dips him down because DJ Moore is the 1 there, Rome's the 2. What's he going to do as the 3? Like, trade him to the Packers. Let the Packers have him. So
unless Ben Johnson gets his Amon-Ra St. Brown, we just don't know it.
He's already got it. It's DJ Moore this year, and then he's got Rome there. This has been fun. Every Wednesday we do this. Every Tuesday we do the trade show. The trade show's been popping off like crazy. You guys are hitting us big time with the super chats. You guys are jumping in. So thank you so much, guys, for all the support, all the work that you guys have put in your drafts. Again, patreon.com/smashaccept. Hit the subscribe button on the YouTube page. We're growing. We're almost at 3,300, so we're getting there. Our goal is, 5K by slightly after the draft if we can. So if you guys can help us get there, that would be amazing. Thanks again for tuning in and enjoy the process.
Tyler Show, 45